4 years ago, Chevy introduced rally sport truck versions of their big boys, the Tahoe and Suburban. Now, I drove the smaller of the two back then and discovered an $80,000 brute that didn't quite live up to expectations. But Chevy has revived it for this next generation SUV, and new this year, reintroduces the big 6.2 V8. This is the 2022 Tahoe RST, and its drive is phenomenal.
When the Tahoe was redesigned for the 2021 model year, it got even bigger, but more importantly, a whole lot more sophisticated. It went from primitive to polished, thanks in large part to a new independent rear suspension and a new chassis, delivering a much improved upon level of ride and handling. But the top trim high country model was the only way you could get the 420 horsepower Ecotec 3 V8 until now. For this year, if you want the 6.2, it's optionally available on the three trims just below high country: RST, Z71, and Premier, leaving just the LS and LT out of the party. And it really makes the most sense here on the RST, considering this is the sporty model with its numerous blackout treatments, 22-inch wheels, and victory red accents on the jet black leather seats. Unlike the 2018 RST I tested, this one no longer offers the side exit Borla exhaust, but a richer sounding catback upgrade is available, as are Brembo front brakes, but they're not cheap. Choosing those options add nearly $5,800 to the price. Chevy bundles the 6.2 V8, dual tip exhaust, and magnetic ride control in what they call the Sport Performance Package, priced at $3,815. The MRC system reads the road every millisecond to deliver real-time damping and more precise body control. It's an absolute must-have on any Tahoe, providing an exceptionally smooth and luxurious ride. Even without the air suspension on my last Tahoe High Country tester, this magnetic ride control RST is off the charts good at graceful, big SUV motoring.
You know, it's almost hard to believe, especially when you consider this vehicle's size, just how great it drives. I mean, not only is this 6.2 very powerful, but it's also smooth and refined and thirsty, unfortunately. But the centerpiece of the RST's luxury level drive is magnetic ride control, the holy grail of damping systems, if you will. So even on these 22-inch wheels, the ride is never sloppy or truck-like. So whether you're taking this on a long trip, which I have done, or simply driving around town, you get the sense that you're driving something even a class above, like a Range Rover. It is that vault-like and exceptionally comfortable.
The 10-speed auto is standard across the board, and the fuel economy between this and the standard 5.3 V8 is identical. But here's the rub. This one is fed premium gas, while the other only needs regular. Either way, 16 mpg is going to sting when you fill that 24-gallon tank. Also, due to the chip shortage, most Tahoes built since this past summer are not equipped with automatic start-stop, so there's a $50 credit on this one's Monroney. With the optional max trailering package, which this one doesn't have, towing capacity is 8,100 pounds. That's 100 pounds less than with the 5.3, but the 6.2's 460 pound-feet of torque is a huge advantage.
For year two, the Tahoe now receives a larger, digital, more configurable instrument cluster, and it looks really sharp. And then over here, there are bigger changes. Now, instead of simply projecting your phone onto the screen, Google is now built in, which means you can access functions such as Google Maps, Google Assistant, and Google Play without using your phone if you desire, though this vehicle still supports wireless projection of both Android and Apple devices. Now, I'm not a huge Google consumer, so this doesn't make a really big impression on me. But what it does is allow you to control various vehicle functions by using natural voice commands. And the way I always test this in a vehicle is by simply asking it to find my favorite satellite radio station. Tune to Sirius XM Mosaic.
Sorry, I didn't understand.
Okay, we're off to a bit of a rough start here.
You can now choose various themes and configure the pods to display whatever info you want, and it's also the area where the 4 drive modes are selected: normal, sport, off-road, and towing. The dial is over here, along with the auto, 4-high, and 2-wheel drive settings. And looky here, just above is a 360-degree camera button, now moved off the touchscreen for easier activation. Turn the temperature to 74 degrees.
Got it. Changing the temperature to 74 degrees.
And yes, Google Assistant has responded dutifully to other commands of mine, so it adds value, but in whole, I don't love the Google takeover of the screen. I thought the previous version worked just fine. But unlike in the high country, where I was highly critical of the cabin, I feel like it presents much more appropriately here in the RST, where the textured dash surfaces and red stitching, combined with the aforementioned model year upgrades, better convey the sporty, upscale persona. The RST 4-wheel drive starts at $66,810 and checks in here at $72,995 with the luxury package, including items such as heated second-row seats, power folding third-row seats that act swiftly, additional switches to create a flat floor by dropping the second-row seats, a heated steering wheel, the 360-degree camera, and important safety features including lane change alert with side blind zone alert and rear cross traffic alert. But why on earth can't you get adaptive cruise control on this model? And worse yet, Chevy tricks you into thinking it's here with this following distance indicator and gap setting. No one else puts this button here unless Smart Cruise is on board, making this a little dangerous. The rear seat media system is a nice get for kids who wish to stay connected beyond their small handheld screen, and the power sliding center console with large drawer adds big-time convenience and storage. And normally this would have a bench seat here, but for $370, there are buckets which slide and recline, as well as articulate easily for third row access. To see more on this and the much improved upon third row, check out my High Country review by clicking the link up above. The biggest available option this tester doesn't have is a panoramic sunroof. With a 0 to 60 time of under 6 seconds, big boss styling, and a boatload of available creature comforts and safety features, the Tahoe RST is a luxury SUV with a bit of attitude, though not a true performance SUV. A nice option to have nevertheless. For TestDriveNow.com, I'm Steve Hammis.